Trump is going to visit California. Let's bring in Democratic Senator Adam Schiff. He is a member of the Judiciary Committee. We have a lot to talk to you about, Senator, but let's start about just the horrific situation that continues in Southern California with the wildfires. Give us the very latest that you know on the wildfires and the efforts to bring relief to the people suffering there.
The two big fires, the Eaton fire, which is in the Altadena area, the Palisades fire, they have just created massive destruction, the loss of thousands and thousands of homes, the loss of many lives. Those fires are increasingly being contained. That's the good news. On the other hand, we've had a lot of new fires pop up. And the only good news there is that because there are so many resources in L.A. that have been there to fight those two massive fires, when these new fires like the Hughes fire pop up near Lake Castaic, then we have a lot of resources on hand to try to put those down. We're hoping for some wet weather. As you say, we don't want too much wet weather because then there's a real risk of mudslides. But I'm hoping and praying that we have gotten through the worst of this and that we will increasingly contain these fires and get beyond this horrible, horrible fire season.
So Donald Trump is going to California. We reported earlier today. What do you hope he will see there, and what do you hope he will do?
Well, I'm glad that he's going. A number of us invited him to come to the state, and he reciprocated, inviting us to join him to go to these fire areas. Regrettably, Senator Padilla and I have votes today in the Senate, so we aren't able to go. But I'm glad he's going, and I'm glad that he's going to see the devastation, because I think, frankly, until you see it and the scope of it, whole neighborhoods gone, block after block after block, it's hard to wrap your head around. I hope he can't help but be moved by what he's seen. And I would hope also that we can get away from this kind of partisan talk of conditioning aid to California. We've never done that when it comes to our fellow citizens who are hurting. And California, frankly, has been the most generous state in terms of supporting our fellow citizens, whether they're in red states or blue, when they face disaster. So we need help right now. We're going to need help to clean up quickly, to rebuild quickly. And a lot of what the president says his goals are to streamline that process are our goals, too. So there's a lot for us to work on to bring relief to people.
I was going to ask you, despite the obvious heated differences between not only yourself and President Trump, but also Governor Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump, Governor Newsom will be meeting him on the tarmac. You say that you all share goals. Is this an opportunity? To have Donald Trump working with Governor Newsom and yourself give us a couple of examples of where that could actually happen. It would appear shocking to a lot of people, but you suggest that may be possible. Tell us what you mean.
It should be possible. The people that are affected by this are Democrats and Republicans. It really doesn't matter how they vote. It shouldn't matter how they vote. And this is a great opportunity to come together in the wake of this tragedy and show that we can work together even while we may fight over other issues. And we'll have to fight over other issues when it comes to helping our fellow citizens who are suffering. That should bring us together. So whether it's making sure that we have the resources to deal with this, whether it's making sure that we can rebuild quickly, that the federal agencies involved like EPA and FEMA provide the help and resources, work efficiently, all of that is ample ground to get together and make things happen. So I appreciate the gesture that he made in inviting myself, Senator Padilla, members of the House delegation to accompany him to California. And we hope this is the beginning of a partnership when it comes to dealing with this tragedy.
So, Senator, stay with us. We want to ask you about some developments regarding President Trump's January 6th pardons. Two far-right leaders who are free from jail following Trump's blanket pardon for the insurrectionists say that they want the president to seek retribution on their behalf. This week, during interviews on InfoWars, the company, of course, linked to conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, both Enrique Tarrio of the Proud Boys and Stuart Rhodes of the Oath Keepers appeared to suggest that they want Trump to seek revenge.
The people who did this, they need to feel the heat. They need to be put behind bars, and they need to be prosecuted. The president is going to do a fantastic job of enacting justice, true justice for what's been going on. And success is going to be retribution.
The deep state's still there. We got to root them out, and that's why. Really, I'm still of the opinion, and I think Kash Patel is down with this, that mass declassification and exposure is the silver bullet. Take down the deep state.
So, Senator, words there for retribution. Those could include Capitol Police officers, certainly could include the January 6th subcommittee. Of course, you were on that, and because you were, you even received a pardon, a preemptive pardon from President Biden. So let's get your thoughts. What is your degree of concern about hearing these calls for retribution?
Well, this is what happens when you empower white nationalist groups, when you empower people who use violence to try to thwart the transfer of power. They respond. They feel emboldened to go on and call for potentially even more to come. This is the danger. And I think of all of these acts we're seeing, among the most destructive of our democracy is pardoning not just people who beat and attacked and gouged and bear sprayed, baseball batted police officers. That is heinous enough to give those people pardons. But they were doing that in the service of a broader crime, and that was to overturn our election. When you give pardons to people like that, you're basically saying, hey, if you use violence to keep me in power, I will have your back. And as we see, they're emboldened. They feel that the president has their back.
All right, Democratic Senator Adam Schiff of California, thank you very much for being on this morning. And to